You're new to trading options, or maybe you've tried options in the past and maybe had varying degrees of success, and you want to try something a little bit different, kind of the way we think about things, probability, strategy, that sort of stuff. How do you start? Where do you begin? When you open up the platform, it's this array of numbers that don't necessarily make any sense. How do you get there? How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? It's a pretty simple number of steps. Or I should say, it's a finite number of steps. Each one is fairly simple. Let's get into it. If you just get into the platform and you're thinking about what product should I trade? What stocks should I even be looking at? What symbols should I be looking at? I like to go to the watch list page. I'll go down here and go into liquidity and just go into liquid ETFs. Why? Why not? ETFs, exchange traded funds, they have sort of a built-in diversification. They tend to be maybe a little less volatile than individual stocks, or certainly the individual stocks that comprise those ETFs. And they tend to have more liquid options. Not all of them, but most of them do. So I have liquid ETFs right here. What's the difference between EEM and EWZ and FX? What is all this stuff? What I like to do next is sort by IVR. What is that? Or actually, no, you know what? I'm going to sort by liquidity. That I think is more important. See these stars over here? They represent an indication of how liquid the product's options are. Liquidity means how easily and efficiently you can exit close to fair value. That's what it means. Doesn't mean it's easy to make money. Liquidity means, can I get in and, more to the point, out of a trade when I want to, as opposed to struggling to get a fill. Okay? Liquidity helps you do that. So I'll click here on the LIQ, and it's, low to high. I don't want that. This says 2 stars. 4-star liquidity is as good as it gets. Tight bid-ask spreads, lots of open interest, and EEM. Okay, EEM is a good one. What I'll then do is look at the IVR number. And you can load these up, by the way. You can add these columns any way you want. These are the ones that I look at. But IVR is IV rank. That tells me how high or low the current implied volatility of EEM's options are relative to where it was back over the past year. So EEM's volatility, the implied volatility of its options, the overall implied volatility moves up and down. And over the past year, it had a high value and it had a low value. And it has a current value of of some, let's see, I don't have implied volatility here, but it has some value in between those high and low numbers. And 86% says it's towards the high end of that range. It's closer to its 52-week high rather than its 52-week low. So its options might be attractive to trade as far as short premium strategies. So what I'll then do is I'll just open up EEM options. Okay, let's go to trade page and see what I'm looking at. EEM. Maybe I want to look at a chart. Okay, I'll look at a chart. EEM, let's go to, 1 day. This is fine. I mean, it's rallying up a little bit. Maybe I think it's going to go higher. What else do I like to look at here? I'm going to go out to, let's say, 29 days. Go to an even expiration, or a regular standard expiration. At some point, you get into the weeklies and the quarterlies, and those are fine. But if you're building experience, if you're new to it, just stick to the standard ones for now. Okay. 29 days is a good place to start. 64 days, a little too long. 0 days, maybe a little too short. 29 days, what's the Goldilocks thing? Not too hot, not too cold, just right. So let's go into 29 days. Another very important thing when you're starting out, especially with a smaller sized account, single point strikes are really nice here. Okay, 69 or half point strikes here. What does that mean? It lets me define my risk very tight. So let's say I'm bullish on EEM, just for the sake of argument. I'm going to sell the 67 put. Holy smokes! If I have my buying power effect, I need $1,055 to put that trade on. If I have a $5,000 account, for example, I don't want to use up 20% of my capital on one trade. I don't care how confident I am on EEM. I don't want to use up that kind of capital. So what can I do? I'll turn this into a put vertical. I'll buy that put right there. I'll take in, here it says 16 cents. I don't necessarily like that. I think it's a very low number. It's too low, but that's what that number is. Okay, so 16%. Then I'll look at my probability of profit, P50 number, 84%. I'm making half the max profit before expiration, and I only need $84. Let's look at another one that maybe has a little bit more opportunity. I'm going to go back to the watch list page. EWZ. EWZ is the Brazilian market. Let's open up EWZ options. Double click, go to the trade page. This is the process, folks. So again, 45% IV rank. Okay, tighter bid-ask spreads, lots more activity than EEM. And every symbol I look at, just for reference, I may look at about 6 or 7 symbols before I actually put on a trade. And I do a lot of trading. So I'm looking at symbols all day long, but that's what I do for a living. Okay, you don't have to do that. You can go through a few, just like I'm doing here, and make relatively quick evaluations of whether things you want to trade or not. Here, it's even cheaper, $33. Remember, EEM was $70. Margins were a little bit higher. Maybe, let's check a chart. If you want to do that, just click here. Oh, look, it's down. Okay, EWZ, the Brazilian ETF, been selling off. Maybe I'm a contrarian trader. Maybe I want to sell a put or a put spread in here. Let's go in here. I'll sell, let's try the 32 put. Sell that for 38 cents. How much money do I need? $503. Okay, if I have a $5,000 account, that would use about 10% of my capital. Okay, that's not bad, but maybe I could buy the 31 put instead. Okay, and again, for $84, $16 of max profit, not very much. No, you're not getting a lot of premium on these things, partly because 29 days, and partly because it's such tight risk tolerances. But $84 is your maximum risk. Okay, here's what you might not want to do, and you'll hear us do this all the time. Go to, let's say, SPX. Okay, and I'm going to go 28 days, and gee, I'm going to sell this naked put. Okay, $145,000 requirement. Forget it. Forget it. I don't even care if you have that kind of money in your account. Do you want to use that much money up on a single trade? Probably not. And you go out, let's say you turn into a short put spread. I'll buy the 55 puts, 74, 55 puts against it. Okay, margin requirement drops down to 365, max profit here. Could I do this in a $5,000 account? Maybe. Yeah, could a new trader do this? Maybe. Yeah, it's still a little high, because what am I imagining here? I think as a new trader, go back to this watch list. I think you probably want to build up a portfolio of positions in 15 to 20 symbols. Okay? Each one risking maybe, less than $100. Okay, so that your overall capital requirement for the whole portfolio is probably going to be less than $2,000. Okay, and why are you doing that? Because the more of these things you have, the more positions you have that have high probabilities of profit, like, let's go into Qs. Let's see, Qs here. QQQs, options. Here we go, 29 days. If I want to trade in the Qs, again, $126 that I'm using up for capital. If I put on 20 of these things, I'm going to have a diverse range of positions so that no one trade, whether it's QQQ, EEM, EWZ, FXR, whatever, they're not going to have a huge impact on the overall portfolio. In other words, I'm diversifying away the risk. So this is the process, I think, that if you're new-ish or brand new to options, that you should pursue. You start with the watch list. Go down these ETFs that have decent liquidity in them. Look for ones that have high implied volatility with the IV rank. And start to look at short puts if you can afford them, if you're bullish, or short put spreads if you're bullish and you don't want to use as much capital. If you're bearish, we'll cover that another time. But for now, I'm just focusing on getting new people on board with some bullish strategies that maybe are the most intuitive ways to think about the market. So none of this is a trade recommendation. Hopefully these are helpful to you in providing a little bit of a game plan if you're just getting started. But if you do decide to trade these things, remember, do not take any more risk than you are comfortable with.